Who is a mentalist?
So I'll say a mentalist is a person who's able to psychologically guide you to the outcome that he or she wants.
So, what is the difference between magic and like a magician and a mentalist?
Okay, so I'll give you a very simple example from the
Yeah.
basic trick that you see a magician perform.
Right.
Is a magician will have a deck of cards, he'll spread the cards and ask you to pick a card. And a person's mind is very easily influenced by words, actions, and gestures. So if I really want some outcome out of you, if I play with these three things, 90% of the time I will get an outcome. So let's do something with
Okay.
Let me what do you like? What do you like? Okay, let me make it really random. What do you like?
Yeah.
What singer are you going to think of, and what song of his or hers you want to think of? I have something written on this. We have the name Mentalism somehow.
Hi, Kruti. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, finally we are doing it. I know we have been trying it for the past few months. I'm glad.
Absolutely.
At least we get started now. We can always do more later.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So we have lots of things to talk. So let's dive right in. Okay. So first of all, who is a mentalist? I want you to talk a little bit about that. To me, mentalism involves using psychological principles to, I guess, and techniques to create illusions of reading people's minds. So is it actually an illusion, or are you able to read people's minds?
So I'll say a mentalist is a person who's able to psychologically guide you to the outcome that he or she wants.
Okay.
So it's about playing with your mind,
Okay.
how the mind functions, playing on different kinds of reactions that you have to psychological words, actions, colors, images, etc. So it's a complex process where you are not just creating an illusion, but you are actually playing with the minds of the people and taking advantage of the way the mind behaves. So you could call it somewhere like using or playing psychological tricks with your own mind.
With your own mind. Yeah. Yeah. How did you choose to become a mentalist? How did you get into this? Is this something you were always interested in your childhood, or did something happen later on?
So as a child, I was drawn towards the art form of magic. And just as a kid, as a hobby, as kids are amazed and impressed with magic tricks, I was also impressed with it.
So I do have a question later on, the difference between magic and mentalism. Yeah, go
Sure,
ahead.
I'll answer that. So I was really intrigued with magic and I really wanted to learn this art form, but nobody in my family is a magician. So I had no way to learn it. And when I was growing up, there was no YouTube, there were no access to international books, magic books, etc. So most of my work has been self-taught by reading some old books, which were available in libraries, etc. That's how I learned the art form of magic. And then beyond a point, I think magic chose me because I had never thought that I will become a magician. And I got a guru who taught me all the big illusions. So, like the mega illusions, like you see David Copperfield performing on stage, where, you're vanishing people, you're cutting
Yeah.
people into, etc. So I kind of have done everything from card coin magic to the big illusions, which is with setup on stage, like it happens in Las Vegas. So that's how the process started. But then when I was studying, I came across something which was more intriguing to me, and that was the mind. And I said, I need to study this and I need to find out how does the mind work. And that's where I stumbled upon psychological tricks and a lot of different methods by which you can influence minds of your own as well as the mind of other people. So that really caught my eye, and I said, this is what I'd like to learn and explore. And that's how I started working on it. And there was no looking back post that.
How old were you approximately when you did your first show?
Uh, I was 5 years old when I did my first show.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Incredible. So since we just talked about like magic, even I love these magic shows when I was a
Correct.
kid. It's very thrilling, and I used to be in awe with these magicians. So what is the difference between magic and like a magician and a mentalist?
Yes, so I'll give you a very simple example from
Yeah,
the basic trick that you see a magician perform.
right.
Is a magician will have a deck of cards. He'll spread the cards and ask you to pick a card,
Hmm.
and then ask you to put it back in the deck. He will shuffle the deck, do a few fancy cards, and then find your card and tell you, okay, this is the card you were thinking of.
Yeah,
So
something
this is what a magician does.
like.
What a mentalist does is the mentalist will take the same deck of cards, spread it across on the table, sit back and relax, and guide you in a way or use words in such a way that you will pick up the card that he wants you to pick up.
So it is playing with your mind, like just like you said. Yeah.
Absolutely. So a person and a person's mind is very easily influenced by words, actions, and gestures. So
Okay.
if I really want some outcome out of you, if I play with these three things, 90% of the time I will get an outcome. And the thing about magic is generally a magic trick has a definite outcome. So the process which is used for a magic trick has a definite outcome. That means if I'm going to cut someone into two, yes, the person is going to get joined back and come back because it's a process
Right.
and it has a definite outcome. While in a mentalist show, the outcome is never definite
Okay, I see.
because you're playing with different minds, different personalities, different people, and they can have different reactions to your words.
And when you say the outcome is not definite, what do you mean? Meaning it's different?
Yeah, so say for example, so it happens a lot of times when I do an act on stage where I am trying to influence, trying to get information from people
Mhm.
about what they are holding in their hand. So there is a performance which I do where everybody comes up on stage and they have different objects in their hands, and I try to guess what is the object in their hand
So they're
just by
holding it like they're holding it in the fist?
yes, yes, absolutely. They're holding it in their hand and I can't see them. They have taken the object, put it in their hand while I was not seeing.
Okay.
So this is what they have done. And what I try to do is I try to then let them know what is the object just by the questions that I ask them, just by their body language. I would know whether they're lying or they're saying the truth, which direction I need to go. Everything is by the words that I use. So I'm not sure as to what the outcome will be. It could be anything. They could be lying. So there was an occasion
Yeah.
in one of my recent sessions which I was doing. This person was lying to me one time, and the next time I asked him the same question, he was saying the truth. So to the same question, there were two different answers,
Yeah.
and it was getting very difficult for me to decipher what is going to be the outcome.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that what if they don't say the truth? Yeah.
So yes, it has happened a lot of times. So in a mentalist show, it's highly possible that you fail.
Yeah.
While in a magic show, 90% of the times you will be successful
Will be-
because there is a definite end to every trick.
Right,
But
right.
here, so I will share one incident with you. So I was doing an event where I was doing my show for a group of very intellectual students.
Mhm.
And so they were supposed to randomly take some cue cards which have had names of different actors and actresses. Now I was almost able to guess what person they were thinking of for about five of them. The sixth guy was the tough one. So one time he was saying one actress name, the other time he was switching and saying an actor's name in his mind. And I was supposed to guess and get the name of this person. And then what he started doing is he started giving out a wrong name. So say, for example, he had the name of the actress Vidya Balan, and he started saying in his mind, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan.
Wow. Yeah,
And
just to mislead you or confuse you.
exactly, exactly. So I said, you are thinking of Amitabh Bachchan. And he said, no, you are wrong. Look at this. It is Vidya Balan. And I said, all right. I say I was not able to read your mind. No problem. It happens a lot of times. Some minds are difficult to crack. But post the show, he came back to me and he came backstage and he said, you know what? You were right. Because I was trying to confuse you and pass a wrong information to you. So you read me correctly, but I was just trying to play with your mind. So this kind of things also happen on the stage.
Even though the written was Vidya Balan, he was thinking of Amitabh.
Yes.
That is what you do. That's interesting.
Yes.
So how do you do this, Kruti? It's probably not the right question.
So let's do something with you.
Okay.
Okay, let's do something with you. Okay, let me do what do you like? What do you like? Okay, let me make it really random. What do you like?
I mean, what do you mean?
Okay, do you like singing? Do you like reading books? Do you like traveling? What do you like? I'm gonna make it really random.
I love singing. I love traveling.
What would you like to think of in your mind?
Singing?
Singing? Okay.
Yeah, or we can do both.
Let's do one thing. I have made a prediction right here. Okay, you can see this envelope right here.
Okay.
Okay, it's closed here, right here in front of you. I can't change it. Now, what I want you to do is, for the very first time, I want you to think in your mind. I want you to think of probably your favorite song. And your favorite singer. Favorite song and favorite singer.
Okay, gosh, there are so many.
Yes, so think of it. First, decide in your mind what singer are you going to think of and what song of his or her you want to think
of. Okay. Okay.
You've got a name? Mm-hmm. And you've got a song?
Yeah. I mean, I have one of the songs. Yeah, I like so many songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is remote. Okay. We haven't planned this, and I want everyone to know that we haven't planned this. It's just happening randomly.
No. Yeah, definitely. My heart.
I just want you to put your hand like this because this is like remote mind reading. So I want you to put your hand like this, just facing the screen.
Which one?
And just one hand. Yeah. I'm just gonna and keep thinking about the name of the song and the name of the singer. Perfect. I think I'm close maybe. Can you for the very first time tell me what is the name of the song you're thinking of?
You want me to tell you?
Yes.
मैं तेनू समझावा की.
मैं तेनू समझावा की. Okay. Now what is the name of the singer that you're thinking of?
Arijit Singh.
Arijit Singh. What if I tell you that in this envelope I have a song and a name of a singer? Would you be amazed? Would you believe me?
I mean, yeah. I don't even know what to say. Yeah.
So for the very first time, what we are going to do is, I'm just going to bring this up for you. It has been all this while here. I'm going to come close. I'm going to open this and I'm going to bring out a piece of paper from inside this, which has been lying in front of you all this while. I have something written on this. If you can see.
Oh my goodness.
We have the name मैं तेनू समझावा and we have Arijit.
Oh, wow. I mean, really, this was, just something to say to the listeners. This was not planned at all. Not planned at all. And I mean, I don't even know what to say, Kruti. This is amazing.
Absolutely. So this is the kind of experiences you get to see in my shows.
I mean, how do you do this? Really,
Well,
I didn't know. So I really like the song. I like the song a lot. The song has been sung. It's both male and female voice. Um, I was thinking I'll pick the female singer, but then I'm like, no, you know what? Let me just pick a male
that's
singer.
the reason I asked you make up your mind, because I could see the confusion. So I said, make up your mind. And when you were ready with that, that's when I said, okay, fine.
Because I love Shreya Ghoshal, so she also came to mind. And I this is how I mean, you don't have to give out on. I know there's a lot of training involved and all that. How do you do this?
Well,
Is
it's a
it just
secret. If
something
I
that
tell
comes
you, I
to you?
have to kill you.
Is it just something that comes to your mind?
So, if you understand intuition, there are a lot of times that a person who is intuitively, who's quite intuitive, will know things before things happen, right?
Yeah,
So let me tell you, all these phenomena of the mind, they are all present in our lives and our minds. We already know how to do it. Our minds already know how to do it. The only thing is that we haven't attuned ourselves to it yet.
yeah,
So, you do know people who are, intuitive. They will say, I have a fear that something like this may happen.
yeah,
But they don't practice it often for it to be like a short thing. So there are different people who have this kind of innate ability to do these kind of things. And there are things, so you will know a lot of times, you will know when you meet people, when you see people, when you interact with people, you probably get to know what their choices would be.
I have heard a lot about, like, with intuition, you have to meditate. The more you meditate, it kind of, gives you more clarity and the intuition power and all that. Is that true? Do you meditate?
Of course. So the more focused you are, the more clarity of mind you have, the more connected you will feel to your inner self and your inner mind. And let me tell you, you already know a lot of things before they happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about me or someone who has trained themselves into this. I'm talking about people in general,
Like people like
and
us.
especially women.
Women are more
We
intuitive.
know.
I've heard.
So,
Yeah.
so we know when we are entering a situation, where something is not right, we get that kind of sixth sense and say, hey, something is not right. Nobody communicates it to you. Nobody explicitly tells you things, but
Yeah.
you know. So the same way, everything that happens in your life, or I will say most of the activities that happen in your life, you already know of, because this is like your inner power.
Yeah.
And everybody has this power. It's not about me. Every single person in this universe has the power. It's only about realizing it and actively working towards understanding it and using it for your life and business situations.
So is it true that more sensitive people, it is easy for them to become intuitive towards others, or there is nothing like that?
So I will say sensitive, yes, but it's also people who are aware about themselves.
Okay.
And with aware about themselves doesn't mean like, what I should wear or the outer or the material things. It's about your inner self. So
Inside.
the more connected with the inner self you are, the more intuitive, the more psychic. A psychic is a real different word. Not exactly the word I want to use, but more intuitive is what you will feel.
No, I see
And
what you.
there are different phenomena of the mind. Like there's telepathy. You must have experienced this. So you think
Yeah,
of someone calls.
I do.
How does
I
that
do.
happen?
I do. Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
Right? So what if you were able to harness this power and make this a pattern and use it in your business situations. You want to connect with a client of yours. You've been trying to reach out to them, but you haven't been able to get through. What if you use a telepathic message to them and they respond?
Can you actually do that?
Yes. There are so many times we do this. All of us do this, but we don't do it consciously.
Yeah. I know you do use telepathy demonstrations, right? In your shows?
Yes. So telepathy is the same thing. Then there is ESP. There is psychokinesis, psychometry. There are different phenomena of the mind. Like, I'll just give you a small brief on this. So say example, when we're talking about psychometry. So psychometry is basically understanding vibrations of people. So if I tell you that there are some people we just vibe with instantaneously.
Yeah, it happens.
And there are some people you will spend the rest of your life and you say, I've given up on this person.
Yeah.
Because your frequency, your mental frequency, your vibrating frequency is different from them. And therefore, it is difficult unless that person comes to your level or you go down to their level, you cannot have a match.
Yeah.
So if you understand the phenomena of resonance in physics, it's the same thing. When two tuning forks resonate at the same frequency, there is a loud noise.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So all these principles that we study in science are somewhere related to, human mind, because your thoughts are nothing but vibrations. Your thoughts are nothing but, energies.
That is true.
So everything is related.
Wow. So, Kruti, you do a lot of customized shows, corporate shows, social events, mindset training. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Sure. So there are different things that I do. One is the mentalist shows, wherein I create a mentalist experience, like how you just experienced me reading your mind. The same way, it's not about reading just your mind. It's about having your entire audience experience different phenomena like mind reading, like mental influence techniques, like predictions, like giving them an experience that they are doing something. But actually, I am guiding them all throughout the show to make them reach the outcomes that I want them to reach.
Wow.
And this is an experience, the more you can talk about it as much as you want to, but you have to experience it. When you are there, say 3,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, experiencing the same phenomena is crazy. So that's the first kind of act that I do. Now, I use the Mentalist show as a language. And I tell people, come up with a concept, come up with an idea that you have, because a Mentalist show is a very engaging show, especially for corporates, especially for, social events where you want the entire audience to engage with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that kind of a format, what I do is, so say especially for corporates and also, I use a Mentalist show for destination marketing, where the country or the city or the place that I'm marketing becomes the hero. And I'm able to, through a Mentalist show, in a very subtle format, given information, USPs about the places to visit, what are the experiences you can create there, etc., in a very fun, interactive, and creating a wow factor way. You could come up with, corporate communication, branding, messaging, anything, and I will curate it based on the brand, whether it's a luxury brand or it's a, mass brand, whatever it is. Based on that, I'm able to curate something which is going to be in sync, where we make the brand or the campaign or the communication the hero as compared to the mentalist. So that's what I am a specialist in. And then, yes, because everybody wants to know how, like even you want to know how, everyone wants to know how. So there's no one fixed way to train your mind, because the mind can only be trained through meditation and knowledge. You have to be aware of things, that these kind of things exist. And then you have to apply your mind, learn more about it, and then meditate to feel connected to yourself. So I have curated different you can say, motivational sessions. I call it mindset motivational sessions and workshops, which basically help you to understand what the mind is, how the mind really works, what are the different kind of functions that the mind can do that you may not be aware of, and how you can tweak your thoughts, your actions, and your words to get the outcome that you want from your own self too. So whether it's setting your goals, whether it's controlling your pain, whether it's, anything, getting rid of your stress, you can do everything. It's all here in the mind. So if you change your thoughts, you can change anything in this world. Therefore, my workshop is called Change the Way You Think.
That's amazing. So you don't only do the shows, but you even do motivational training.
Yes.
For people. That's interesting. Have you ever run into skeptics? Like, say you are in a show or you're going to a show. Has anybody told you that, oh, they don't believe in this, or how do you react to such people?
So I think skeptics are everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the beauty about it is letting a skeptic believe what they want to. Because the more you tell a skeptic that, oh no, you are wrong, they don't come in from the factor or from the knowledge that, oh, I am wrong. They come in from the thought process, I am right.
Yeah.
And my guru has told me to use this one beautiful line with them. And that is, if they tell you, oh, this is how you did it, you say, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And you just leave it there. They don't need to know what is the right method for it. Because if they're already, they have already made up their mind with a particular thought process, there's no point in changing it. It's not going to do any good to me. So there are people who will not believe in certain things. And there are also sometimes people who feel that they're not aware about it. They're not really aware about these phenomena because they're not exposed to these kind of things.
Right.
So when they're not exposed to it and when they have limited knowledge, they will say, oh no, this doesn't exist. So you really don't know where the skeptic is really coming from initially. So if there's a person who does not know about it, you can always educate them. But when there's a person who has a mind block, then you don't need to attend to them.
Definitely, no, that is true. And like you said, I think they are everywhere, and that's a very good approach.
Yes. And it's sometimes it's fun. So sometimes, it also depends on the mentalist mood. Sometimes we can also break the mindset of the skeptic. So sometimes I'll say, okay, fine. You don't believe in mind reading, come up on stage.
Let me do one on you.
Let me do one on you. And there are also ways, and there are times where you turn skeptics into believers.
Has that happened?
Of course, many times. Many times. So there are people, because most of the time, actually, because I give it also a good scientific explanation, they know about it. Also, they may not have heard of the mentalist phenomena, but they understand energies.
Yeah.
So most of the times they are able to relate to it, but sometimes some people just don't want to believe it. So for that, then sometimes, I will say, come on stage. It really depends, on what is the mood that day. And they come up on stage and I'll read their mind. And if they still don't believe, I say, no problem. But at least I've set the ball thinking,
Do people ever try to confuse you or mislead you? Meaning, say if you're trying to perform like a mind reading session or a trick on them, and then they are thinking of something, but then they change just to confuse you. Has that happened? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Amitabh Bachchan Vidya Balan episode, which I told you, yes, that happens. Sometimes they will just.
That was like Kruti. That was off record. Can you talk about that?
Okay. So what happened once was that I was in a scenario where I was doing an event for a college. And there were a lot of intellectual students there in the audience. So they were all asked to pick up random, cue cards, which obviously I could not see. Randomly, they picked up cue cards in the audience, which had names of actors and actresses on them. So they picked that up. And I was trying to then, get the name of what they were thinking of. And 4 out of 5 was correct. And the 5th guy, he really wanted to confuse me. So what he did is he had Vidya Balan on his cue card, but he started thinking Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan in his mind.
Yeah.
So what I got in my mind was Amitabh Bachchan. I say, hey, you're thinking of Amitabh Bachchan. And he said, no, you are wrong. And he showed everyone the cue card saying, I have Vidya Balan. So let me share an incident with you. I was doing an event at a college and there were a lot of intellectual students in the audience and they were asked to pick up cue cards, which obviously I could not see. They were asked to pick up the cue cards, which had names of actors and actresses on them. So they picked up the cards and all, and 5 people stood up in the audience and I got 4 of them correct. Now the last guy, he was really smart and he was trying to show that, you know what, I will fail kind of thing, to his friends. So what he said is he had on his cue card written Vidya Balan, but in his mind he started telling like Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan. I want to confuse her. Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan. And what really happened is that I said, okay, you have thought of Amitabh Bachchan. And he said, no, you are wrong. And he showed the card to everyone and said, it is Vidya Balan.
Yeah, but
And I
you were
said,
picking up his thoughts. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And I said, perfectly okay. I did not get it. And the beauty about it is because you're actually, as I told you, there's nothing certain in a mentalist show. So anything can go anyway. So it's okay, right? You got 4 right. That's also great. So it doesn't affect the act or it doesn't affect the performance that you're doing. But this is what happened. And then post the show, he came backstage to me and he said, you know what, you were correct. So I was actually thinking of Amitabh Bachchan, though I had Vidya Balan on the card just to confuse you. So I was right there.
You were
But
right.
for the audience, I was wrong. And, so sometimes it's perfectly okay not to get it right, in a mentalist show. And it just may not be my day sometimes. Sometimes I may just not get the vibrations, or it may also be sometimes that the audience is not that cooperative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are being very closed, or they're having a mind block, and they don't want to open up. So sometimes this is also what really stops me from, getting the right outcome. And I think it's perfectly okay because what I do is I always take their consent before going into their minds. So
Yeah.
I'm a safe person to be around.
So, Kruti, what is the largest audience size that you have worked with?
So I have done the largest audience size I've performed for, I think, is 10,000 people in Rajasthan.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And what kind of show was this? Was it like a customized or corporate or
No, so this was for a business conference there for this organization, if you've heard of the Brahma Kumaris.
Yeah.
They have a very large place there. It's called the Diamond Hall, and it's got almost 10,000 people capacity. And that's where I did a session there for them. So 10,000 people together watching my presentation and show, and it was a 3-hour long event.
Wow. And what all did you do? You did everything like from
So
telepathy?
yes, so it was a lot about the mind. So it was different phenomena of the mind. I invited a lot of people, from the organization and the business people who had actually come there, read their minds, influenced their minds, made them make choices, and also explained to them how the mind really works and how they can command their own minds.
Yeah.
So
Because
it's all about, how you program your own mind. As I said, it's all about the mindset that you keep.
yeah, and even spiritually, if you think about it, I think it can help a lot.
Absolutely. So if you
Spirituality, that's what they talk about, right? Is you need to control your mind. Mind ko.
absolutely. So actually, most of my work or my research has been based on the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Vedas. So you take in the knowledge from there, you use scientific explanations for it because science, spirituality, religion, there is somewhere,
All connected.
all connected. It's just different ways of teaching the same thing to people at large. So, whether it's quantum physics, whether it is, the Bhagavad Gita, whether it's the Vedas or the Upanishads, they just have different ways of explaining the same thing.
Yeah.
And what spirituality also does, especially for the mindset, is it always tells you to think beyond and always strive to be higher, nobler, and diviner. And if you actually see that, that's also higher thinking, aim high. So,
Yeah.
there are so many similarities in all these different formats. And if you're able to take the right explanations and the right things from it, you will really soar high.
That's interesting. I want to switch a little bit, talk about your book, Beyond Threshold of Mind, correct?
Right.
And I think there is a Hindi translation also. It is called Man Ki Dahliz
Dahliz Se Pare.
Se Pare. Yeah.
Right.
You have talked, we don't want to talk about the book. I want the listeners to actually buy it. It's really good. But you have addressed in there topics like how we can control pain, increase confidence, get rid of phobias, manage stress, sleep better. Can you just talk about any one of the topics?
Okay. So let me tell you, all these topics that you said are all interconnected.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And they're all interconnected to one thing. And
Mind.
that is your mindset. How do you control your mindset? Is through your thoughts, words, and actions.
Yeah.
Now, the most difficult part is A, controlling your thoughts, B, controlling your words, and 3, controlling your actions.
Yeah.
When you start to control all 3 of them, you've achieved any goal that you want to. Now, let's talk about pain example. Okay. So when you have pain, or say your hand is paining. Okay. I'm just taking a random example. Your hand is paining.
My hand is
How do
actually
you control
paining.
that pain?
The right one.
How do you control that pain?
I mean, you talking about medically or non-medically, like thoughts?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the US, the easiest way is say, hey, just take a painkiller, you're done, kind of thing. But let me tell you that there is a way to control that through your mind. There is a very basic principle that the mind follows, is where you apply your mind or what you think, your mind believes that.
Okay.
So if you say there's no pain, then there will not be pain. And it doesn't mean that you will not have pain, but it just means that your mind will pass a signal to your body saying that this is not so relevant.
Right.
Therefore, don't focus on it. To give you another example, is if I ask you to look around. Okay, so maybe you can just try and do this, and maybe the viewers can also try and do that. Look around in your room and just call out all, say 10 black color objects which are around you.
Okay. To listeners,
just call out.
10 black color. You want me to actually say it?
Yes. Any random 10 black color objects that you see around you.
A fan, mic stand, lyric stand, my speaker system. I have a candle holder, my microwave, oven, my fireplace.
2 more.
I have a chair in the formal living room. How many more? My wallet.
Perfect. So 10, right? 10 black objects that you saw around. Now my question to you is, how many red objects did you see around while you were looking at the black objects?
Yeah, actually, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, none, because I was
None.
Focused on just the 10
The black objects, correct. The same way, if you ask your mind to focus on one particular thing, it will forget the other. So where you focus your mind, you get that. So the whole thing is, example, you want to have positive thoughts, focus on the positives. You always have your options. You want to focus on negatives, or you want to focus on the positives.
That is very true. It's just very difficult when it actually comes to that.
What is difficult? What does the word difficult mean?
Yeah, I guess because the more you try not to think about something, the more you think about it.
No, the word difficult, let me explain you. The word difficult means something that you have not mastered yet.
Yeah.
Right? Something that you have not mastered yet. And why have you not mastered yet? Because you haven't applied your mind to it. You haven't made the effort to do that.
Haven't tried enough. Yeah, totally.
Everyone in this world is smart enough. Every single person is smart enough, irrespective of where they belong to, what their educational background is. Nothing of that is important. Everyone is smart enough for their life and whatever they want to do in their lives. The only thing is that you have not applied your mind to it yet. Now, let me give you an example. You have, say, for example, when you take cricket, you have a Virat Kohli, who's an ace batsman. He can hit the ball left, right, and center into the entire stadium. If I give you the same bat, will you be able to do that?
Yeah, no.
No. But with a little bit of training, you will be able to at least hit 2 balls to a 6.
Yeah.
So if I ask you on day 1, when you haven't attempted to do that, can you play cricket? What will your answer be? No, I don't know how to play cricket.
Yeah.
2 months into training. Come on, I'll show you.
Of course I can, yeah.
So this is what it is. So it's with everything that you do, whether it is with emotional processes or emotional pain, whether it's with physical pain, whether it's with difficult situations that you're going through, it's all here.
Yeah, it's all in the mind.
Everything is here. If you change your mind, you change your mindset, you change how you think, everything around you changes.
Definitely.
And it's so simple. The most difficult things in life have the simplest solutions. Simplicity is the most difficult thing in life. We just try to, layer it with all materialistic things, non-significant things, negative things, trying to bury the actual problem.
Yeah.
But if you don't bury the problem, let it be, then if you see it, you will solve it. If there is something dirty on the table, if you're going to cover it with a mat, will you ever be able to clean it?
No, you have to address it.
You have to address it. It may be difficult. Example, there's some food fallen on the table. You didn't clean it yesterday. It's got stinky. It will take more effort. But it doesn't mean that you can't clean it. And you have your options to either clean it. It takes time. But you have to see whether you want to give it that time and clear it out, or cover it and let it remain.
What we
And I
call
think that's the choice we have.
Yeah, what they call the bandage approach, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And all this is mentioned in all our Shastras. All this is mentioned there. So I'm just, in fact, going to come up with my own series on how we can use the Bhagavad Gita in the most easiest format and get rid of your stress, your problems, everything.
Oh, say that again. So it's a series?
Yeah, so it's a series of series which I'm coming up with. Is first of all, why you should read the Bhagavad Gita. Why today we need to read the Bhagavad Gita. And let me tell you, it's nothing to do with religion.
No.
It's only to do with applying the knowledge from there into our day-to-day lives to solve our own problems. Whether it is
Bhagavad Gita to me has always been a way of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna share one small thing from it, where the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita says, "Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samavetavistavah mamakaha pandavaschaiva kim kuruvat Sanjaya." What does it mean? It basically means, I will say, and I have a little different take on this, is what is Dharma kshetra? Dharma kshetra is basically, your mind. Your mind is basically the battlefield.
Yeah.
So, and what kind of fight happens in your battlefield? Dharma yuddha. What do we call it? The fight between what is right, what is wrong, what decision should I take? Should I go in this direction or should I go in that direction? And the fight happens between what? The negative thoughts and the positive thoughts, which are the Kauravas and the Pandavas.
Good and the evil, yeah.
The good and the bad. And that is going to have a fight. So what do? Why do you read the Bhagavad Gita? When do you read the Bhagavad Gita? When you're confused.
Yeah.
When you are in a situation where there is a fight of your thoughts, what you should do.
Right.
That's when you read the Bhagavad Gita. And at the beginning, what will your situation be like? Dhritarashtra, who's a blind king, who is unable to see. So he asks for help from Sanjay. Sanjay, please tell me, who is Sanjay? A person who has Divya Drishti, a person who is a minister who has some knowledge.
Yeah.
And he may or may not be able to explain to you. He will narrate the thing from a third party perspective. You will still feel like Arjun, who's the confused warrior. And that's when you will go and ask Krishna, who is the actual person who's going to give you the answers to everything. So this is how the entire thing is. That's why you should read the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever you are confused, open it. And it's also said that Mahatma Gandhi, when he was, in confusions and big decisions that he had to take, he went back to the Bhagavad Gita to find the answers. And the Bhagavad Gita has never disappointed him.
Yeah.
So I think our challenges may be small, but we'll still find the answers. And whenever we find the answers, if we start applying them into our day-to-day lives, it will just become easy. And no matter what it is, even that talks about mindset. Just change your mindset, everything changes.
It all comes down to mind. Yeah, controlling the mind.
Absolutely.
So what will you say is the number one technique if somebody wants to get more mental stability or controlling the mind? Is it meditation or is it something else?
So it's a combination of a lot of things. So mind is not like a muscle where you can just go to the gym, take a couple of dumbbells and, train it.
Right.
It requires a 3-step process. The first step is knowledge. You need to first know about things.
And when you say things, what do you mean by?
No, what is the problem?
Okay.
How to train it? How can you train it? What are the different methods? What are the problems? What are the causes and effects of it? Okay. That's the first knowledge you need to have. So I will call it like, identify the issue and know what are the different methods to address it. Just know about it first. Process 2. So now to be able to implement those methods, you will have to use the technique of meditation, because you need to bring stability in your mind to be able to execute those techniques. If you're going to be impulsive, if you're going to take hasty decisions, you are bound to make mistakes.
Very true.
So you need to have more stability. And the Bhagavad Gita says that in good and bad phases, you have to have a stable mind. That gives you the ability to think right and take the right decisions. So once you've done, you've got the knowledge, you've done the meditation, that's when you will be able to apply it in your lives. So then when that's the action, and the action takes place only with the help of one more difficult thing, which is called discipline.
Yeah.
If you don't have discipline, you will not be able to achieve.
Yeah, and I think by discipline also continuity. Is that what you mean by discipline?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to.
Yes, doing it every single day. Because on day one, you may not be able to achieve your target.
Yeah.
So you have to keep doing it till you are able to achieve that kind of maturity or ability or capability to be able to achieve your target, because your targets may be really crazy. The mind has a lot of imagination that it can, bring to the table.
And you're right. That's the hardest part, is to get that kind of discipline.
Yes.
That no matter what, you will work on your mind every single day.
Yes. And if you do this to anything, like say, for example, you want to lose weight or you want to gain weight, if you say every single day I will do a activity, then at the end of a year, you will have some kind of success. So it is very important to follow the process and do it every single day. So it's also with a physical state as well with a mental state.
So have you talked about all of this in the book?
Yes, so the mind, a lot of elements of the mind have been spoken about. I've spoken about affirmations. I've spoken about, there's so many ways which you are able to command your mind. You're able to tell things to your mind. And also, which is my favorite part of it, is it's called the 5 golden rules.
Okay.
Which are 5 basic stories which probably we have heard in our childhood, or, which have been told to us, through different cultural books, etc., across the world, but we have forgotten.
And what are these 5 golden rules?
These are some really, really nice ones. One of them, I'll mention. One of them is called perceive positivity and reflect positivity, and it's been explained with the help of a story. Then there is whatever happens, happens for the best. The simple things, very simple things. But how many times when you have a bad day, you say to yourself, whatever happened, happened for the best?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You don't say this we don't say this to ourselves. I'm going to just quickly tell you all of them. So the first one is perceive positivity, reflect positivity. The second one is fight through your obstacles.
Yeah.
How many of us get scared and stay on one side? The third one is polish yourself with struggles. How many of us are courageous enough to go through the struggle and come out smiling and do it happily?
Yeah.
Then is whatever happens, happens for the best, because when you've tried and gone through the struggle, if even post that, whatever happens, it is for the best, whatever the outcome would be. And the last one is share the happiness and half the sorrow.
Yeah.
If you just follow these 5 things in your day-to-day lives,
you can change your
things
life.
become so simple for you. But we forget
I
all that.
Yeah, recommend buying the book. Where can they buy? Is it on Amazon?
Yes, so I have a copy of the book. This is the
Yeah.
book. I think you can see it here. It's the book, and you can buy it on Amazon, or you can write to us, and we can facilitate the process for you. And there's also one more thing which I'd like to share with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it. So I have developed this concentration card, which is actually a meditation card.
Okay.
So there is a problem. So, you meet a lot of people and they share a lot of things with you. So the biggest problem that everybody says is, okay, knowledge, I can read books and, there's so many ways I can get the knowledge, but how to meditate? Now that's a big problem. And a lot of people tell me is the moment I sit to meditate, all my thoughts have an appointment with me at that time.
It all keeps, yeah.
So how do you avoid this? So this concentration card, which I've worked on, is based on the Veda principles.
Can you show it on the screen? Okay.
It's a simple card,
Yeah.
and with this card, you can achieve thoughtless meditation in just 2 minutes.
Okay.
This is based on a principle from the Rig Veda, which says where your mind goes, your thoughts will go. So if you are going to be focused here, your thoughts will also be focused.
So where can people get these cards?
So yes, so for both these things, you can actually just write to us, and we'll always facilitate the process. I think you can share my email ID with everyone.
We'll put everything under the
episode. So they can always get this. And if you're in India, I think you can always order it on Amazon. And you get
the cards as well. They're on the Amazon too.
Yes.
What are they called on Amazon?
It's called concentration cards or meditation cards.
Concentration. Okay, so the card.
And if you're unable to find it, just write to us, and my team will actually facilitate the process for you.
Yeah. So for the listeners, the link will be under the podcast episode. The cards are called concentration cards. Yeah. Yes. And the book is called
Beyond the Threshold of Mind.
Beyond the Threshold of Mind. और ये हिंदी में भी है.
Yes, Hindi में it's called मन के दहलीज से परे.
Okay. No, the concentration cards are amazing. So when they buy the card, it will tell them what to do, right?
Yes. So there is an instruction which comes with it, and you can do this at any time of the day. No side effects. You just have to do it for 2 minutes, and over a period of time, which I say with discipline, you will be able to work on your mind amazingly, and you will realize how much your focus and concentration is increasing.
Nice. I want to shift to something else. What about past life regression? Is that something that you have thought about, or do you do it, or?
So I have been a person who's participated on a show where I have got my past life regression done.
Oh, you
But I'd
have.
like to say that I'm a person who believes in the present.
Okay.
Uh, though a lot of things that you do would come in from, as the Indian philosophy and the Shastra say, from your past lives, and
Say
all
that.
these things do matter for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I will say that at this point of time, you should only focus on your current position and your current state, because you do not remember anything of
No,
before.
no.
So you don't know who you are going to is telling you the right thing or not.
No, you need a lot. You need a credible person for that. Yeah.
Yes. So my experience is very simple, that I always tell people come to me, can you please do a past life regression? I'm having fear. I'm having, a lot of issues, why, I don't know why I behave like this. It could all be because of karma. But as I said, in your current life, you can find your own solutions. So whether it's fear, there is a way to get rid of your fear. You have to work on it. If you work on it, the fear will go. So there is nothing impossible in this world. So you have to be just able to work on it. If it's really bothering you or affecting you on a day-to-day basis, you have to work on it and it will just go away. It's with everything. Like, I'm going to share one of my fears and you won't believe me. But for a very long time, I had a fear of public speaking. So though I would perform shows from the age of 5, so if you put me up on stage and ask me to speak, I would, kill it. But if you asked me to speak in a room full of people, I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
I would get nervous. I would get shy. I was just not able to do that. And I worked on it. And today I'm a motivational speaker speaking in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what it is, So I had a fear. I overcame it. And it wasn't easy. It took me time. There were small steps that I took every day to be able to overcome it. And today I'm speaking to so many people. So nothing is impossible. It's all in the mind. And you can do anything that you want to. And I mean anything. Like, I also love to give this example to people that today we are thinking about hyperloops. We are thinking about parallel universes. We are
Yeah.
thinking about going to the moon. Tell me, 100 years before, probably the common people did not think about all this. Today, we are thinking about it. Nobody knew. Like, I was just talking to one aunt of mine, and she was like, oh, you can use AI for this scenario. I never knew about it.
I mean, years ago, we would not even have thought of this as feasible.
Yes.
Even if, yeah.
So I will only say that whatever these, I will say that a lot of things mentioned in the Indian Shastras are way beyond what we have already discovered yet.
Yeah.
So we still do not know those phenomena. So we say it doesn't exist. That's the easy way out for us because we don't have explanation.
Yeah.
But it's all there. So, okay, I don't know, but if you're aware, okay, it's not my achievement, it's my parents' achievement, but I also happen to be one of India's first test tube babies. So, when you talk about
Really?
yeah, so when you talk about the test tube baby concept, the thing is that it is believed that in the Mahabharata, the Pandavas were test tube babies and the Kauravas were clones because it's not possible to have 100 male children all of the same age.
And how
So
were Pandavas the test tube babies?
yeah, because if you actually see the process, so it was how the story goes is that Kunti would call for the sun god, and the sun god would come and then would have the child. You know,
Karna,
so it is calling them. So it is believed that it was through the process of test tube babies because see the technology at that point of time was way ahead. We are not aware about it yet.
yeah.
So one is a Surya Putra, one is a so they're all Agni Putra. They're all different. So these are all processes through the process of IVF. Probably at that point of it's all mentioned in such a way that we don't know the name of it probably which was used there. But
Yeah.
if you look at everything, it's all there. If you look at the whole story, everything that we're talking about in modern science today has already existed. Those scenarios are there. If you look at the like when you say symptoms and therefore you find a cure for it, this is
Yeah.
all symptoms, and the cures are also there.
Yeah.
So this is the way that you are able to basically understand that this all is there. So we had not thought about it initially. But then when I came in, that's when I realized that, oh, like, so this is something which is possible. Today, it is a very common phenomena here. Now, there, if you also talk about this, people are talking about, having children through their, through bone marrows.
Yeah.
And you say, how is it possible today? And maybe after, 10 years, it may be a reality.
That is true. So you are India's first?
So this is a little bit, how to say, it's a little controversial, but I mean, it's not my achievement, so I don't
Yeah,
want to put it onto
of
me.
course.
But I'll tell you. So actually, I'll share a small story with you. What
Yeah.
really happened is that so when I was born,
Uh-huh.
so I was inseminated in UK, and
Okay.
my doctor is Dr. Patrick Steptoe and Dr. Edwards, who have won the Nobel Prize
Nice. Okay.
for IVF.
Okay.
And I was born in India.
Okay.
But there is a story which I'd like to say is that before I was born, there was a doctor named, I think, Dr. Subhash Mukherjee, who was researching on this in Kolkata. And I will say that that was an entire research for bringing the first test tube baby in the world.
Okay.
But you know how things are, in India, or how things were at that time in India, that when an Indian did something, it was not recognized, and initially it's considered a taboo, etc.
Mhm.
So that story somewhere just kind of died down. And then we heard that, the first test tube baby of the world was born, Louis Brown, and all that process happened, and then I was born. So I happened to be the first test tube baby at that point of time. But then later, when things were found out, like people, the stories came out. We got to know that Durga, who's the first test tube baby in India, who was born in India. So though she's actually, according to me, I think she is. I'm not sure, but I think she's the second test tube baby of the world.
Okay,
So
got
that
it.
was like a world game, not an India game. So I was born. So I will say that when I hear about her story, I'll say I'm very happy that she is the first one, because this is not my achievement. And also, being a proud Indian, I would appreciate Indian discovery, which happened at that point of time. So I become the second test tube baby then. But this is how. So I call myself one of the first instead of taking this. So there's a whole story behind it. So I don't want to take the credit.
No, but this is, I mean, we had not even thought about talking about this because I had no idea.
Yeah.
So so when you do motivational sessions, you talk about all this, right? Everything that we talked about right now.
So the motivational sessions are more about the mindset.
Okay.
It's more about taking the audience from the current mindset they are in, and how easily their mindset is being manipulated or can be influenced to a point where they learn how to start commanding their minds,
So,
how to get
okay.
rid of their fears, how to be able to get things away from their current negative mindsets and turning that into positive mindsets. And there are easy, simple things. And let me tell you, changing your mindset is as easy as saying, okay, I'm thinking positive.
Yeah. Do you do coaching sessions as well?
Yes. So I also do one-to-one counseling sessions.
On counseling, that's what I meant.
Yes,
Yeah.
one-to-one counseling sessions, both online and offline, to be able to help people with their mindset issues. Because 90% of the problems are mindset issues. They are not mental problems. Yeah.
Started
So a
with
lot of people will say, oh, the person is mentally unstable. The person is... So there is a clinical aspect of it, and there is a situational aspect of it. The situational aspect of it can be, worked on with me. But if it's a clinical case or a medical case, then obviously you need to go to a
they would
professional
need like a,
who
yeah.
can help you out with that.
So that is great. So you not only do the corporate shows and customized shows and social event shows, but you also are a motivational speaker and you also do one-on-one counseling as well. And you do a lot of training workshops too.
Yes.
That's great. Awesome.
So
And we'll have
I just like to, sorry, I just like to say that if there is anything magical, anything based on illusions, anything, and I mean crazy ideas that you have on mentalist stuff, mind games, everything on this space is what I do.
no, that's amazing. And we'll have your website linked under the podcast link. We'll also
Sure.
have Kruti's your contact information as well, your email as well.
Sure.
So for any of the shows that people want to contact you, that's a good email, right? Email or your number
Yes. Email
underneath.
is always the best way. No matter where you are in the world, you can always respond to it.
Yeah. And you travel also. I know you were just in Atlanta a couple of months back.
Yes,
So you do
yes,
travel.
I was there a couple of months back there, and I travel. I've performed shows in about more than 45 countries of the world, as well as I've been lucky enough and privileged enough to perform for the Queen of Sweden, the Emperor and Empress of Japan, the Prime Minister of Australia and China, and a lot of who's who of this world. And God has been kind and given me this opportunity to show my art form to everyone.
Yeah. And the series that you were talking about, when will it be out?
So we've actually just finished shooting it. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that by Jan end we should be able to release the first episode at least of it. It's going to be like an episode which will come out every week.
And
Uh,
where
it will happen on YouTube. So because we want the entire access for everyone, we want people to learn. And slowly and steadily, we are going to come up with a lot more content on YouTube, which is going to be for everyone's learning. Because we want people to learn this. We want people to be able to connect to their minds, understand the complexities of the mind, understand how easily the mind can be fooled. See, even in our life scenarios, we are influenced everywhere, from our workplace to in our relationships to, every scenario that we go to, we are being influenced. We may not be able to completely stop it, but at least we can realize and understand that we are being influenced so we can take better decisions in our life.
So all of this you have incorporated into the series.
Yes, so there is the series which we're coming up with, which is going to be on the Bhagavad Gita, which is going to talk about the mind, mindset, how to control it, how to work on your fears, how to work on decision making, how to work on your confusion, everything of what we can do in our day-to-day lives. Like why do we feel anxious? Why do we feel nervous? How to address that issue and resolve it, how the mental health issues that we are having, how to avoid getting into a situation of depression or mental health. Only if you understand it,
Mm.
it will still make a big difference in your life.
What is the name of the series, Kruti?
We are still to name it, so because
Yeah.
I just said we have just shot it, so we are going to be naming it very soon, once
Okay.
we have our
We'll
first
let them
cut
know.
ready.
Yeah. And we'll keep
Yes,
updating the podcast link. That way people,
sure.
even I'm very curious. I want to watch it actually.
Sure.
And
So it's a great link, and then post that we're coming. As I said, this is the first one. Post that we have conceptualized the second one also, where we are working with easy ways that you're going to be influenced in our day-to-day lives, and to understand how the mind is being fooled, and you are being fooled with the mind.
yeah.
How it is so easy to make your mind feel that what you're seeing is the reality.
Yeah.
How does your memory work? All this we are going to come up with, because it's going to be all about the mind. It's going to be all about how amazing this thing it just fit into our systems is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, friends, if you're watching this, call Kruti Parekh. It has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. We have to do one more the
One more?
thing, yeah, before we
Okay.
close
So
down.
let me do one thing with you.
Yeah.
Is now I am going to have Namrata read my mind.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and influence your mind.
Wow.
Okay.
And friends, none of this has been planned, so we are literally just doing it right now. Yeah.
Okay. So Namrata, I have written down a 2-digit number here.
Okay.
Okay. I have written down a 2-digit number. Now, to make it really random and really crazy, when you were counting your black
Yeah.
objects,
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that you have a wallet. Is
Uh-huh.
the wallet still accessible around you?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
have it.
perfect. Can you just show the wallet to everyone? Right. Obviously, this is not a see-through wallet, and there's no way I can see
Oh,
what is inside it. Is
no,
that
no, no,
correct?
no. It's all
Okay,
good.
perfect. Do you have, okay, now you can take it down so I can't see it. It's not on camera.
Okay.
Uh, do you have some currency notes with you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's ones, hundreds, 20s, tens, doesn't matter. You have some.
I do.
Now, what I want you to do is I want you to put your hand like this
Okay.
near the screen. Yes. And I'm influencing your mind. Okay. I am influencing your mind to pick out a dollar bill having the last 2 digits as I have written here.
Is it okay if I have like a $20?
It doesn't matter, but I want you to look at whatever bills you have. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
How many do you want me to take out?
I just want you to pick up one, but I want you to go into your wallet,
Okay.
look at a few of them.
Okay.
If you have a few, do you have a few of them?
I do. I do.
Okay. So I can't see it. Keep it off the camera so I can't see them.
Yeah.
Take those few notes out. It could be 4, 5, 6, 10. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Leave your wallet aside. Okay. There's no way I can see the note numbers, can I?
No, no, you cannot.
Okay. Now, I want you to shuffle the notes.
Okay.
I can't see them.
No, you cannot.
I
Nobody
want
can
you,
actually. Yeah, it's way down.
I want you to look at a note, any
Okay.
one note. Look at the last 2 digits. If you want to change your mind, you can change your mind.
Last 2 digits. Okay.
Of the note number which would be written, I think, at the bottom.
Yeah, there is a note
Okay,
number.
just shuffle it. Look at the last 2 digits and make a choice. You will make a choice, and you can choose anyone, whichever one you go with.
Okay.
We will go with the same one.
Okay. The last 2 digits, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you done? Have you made one choice? Take one bill out. Don't
Um,
show me the note number yet. Just get the bill out.
okay.
Put all the other notes aside.
Yeah, it's gone. I have one in my hand.
Okay. Now I've already written it. The pen is down. There's no way I can change what I've written here. For the very first time, will you tell me what is the last 2 digits of the number? Can you show it to the camera for the very first time? Yes. Show you can take it a little higher up so everyone can see. What is the last two digits?
93.
93. Would you be amazed if I have 93 written
Oh
here?
my gosh.
Would you be amazed?
I would be shocked. Yeah.
Right here, right now, I am going to show you. You can see it.
Oh my God. Yeah, friends, this is 93 also here. It is 93 and Kruti has 93.
You had the choice to pick up whatever you wanted.
I mean, just so that people can,
Yeah. You can flash your money. It's okay.
flash the money, but I had lots of, yeah, I had lots of bills, and this is the one that I had picked. This is I mean,
So you must experience my show once to really understand and get that entire experience and the goosebumps when you actually experience this happening, not just with you, but with everyone in the audience.
call Kruti, not just for the shows, but even the mentoring session, counseling session. I mean, this was just too much. This and even the 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐿. I was talking to my kids, by the way, about you, and they are just I think it's like till you actually experience it,
Yes.
you don't, people I think don't even know what to say or how to even react to something like this.
Absolutely. And the thing is, that's why I say that this is experiential.
God,
This
yeah.
is something you have to feel it, experience it yourself. And the kind of shows that I bring in, it's a huge production. It's a full-fledged production, like as when you come to a theater and you experience that. And the kind of shows that I do are more like uh, the show is the event kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm not a part of another event, but I am the show. I am the event kind of thing, where you actually, because you require a different sort of mindset to
Yeah.
actually come and experience this kind of a show. And it's a fun show. It's not serious. It's not scary. It's fun. There will be a lot of fun moments. There is also, because again, as I said, nothing is final or fixed in this case.
Yeah.
So everything that happens there is happening dynamically. Even I, a lot of times, can't predict how the audience will react. So it's a lot of fun because there's a lot of dynamic activity happening. There's a lot of me versus the audience happening, where I'm trying to influence them, they are trying to resist. And it's a beautiful game which gets played in the entire show. And you experience different phenomena of the mind. You experience different things which are beyond belief. And I will say it's all about mind over matter.
Yeah. Well, I'm still in shock about the about the dollar bill, that the act that we just did. Is there any kind of, how is hypnosis in relates to all of this?
So again, everything is related to the mind. So hypnosis is also a state of mind.
It is a state of mind.
So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is a state of mind where I or a person, a hypnotist, is basically going to try and get you to a point wherein whatever he says, you are going to obey him.
Yeah.
Or a state is stimulated by words in your mind, where you start behaving in a particular way without really rationally thinking about the outcome or how you are looking doing some activity.
Yeah.
And the same hypnosis, a lot of people don't know, the same hypnosis can be used on yourself by yourself to get outcomes that you want to. So you can use it in a positive way, negative way, entertainment way, therapeutic way. There are many ways to use it.
Do you go through all this in the training workshops too?
Yes, so I have done a lot of hypnosis workshops also, wherein I have trained myself also, as well as I have trained other people to work on the hypnosis processes. I like to let people know that you do not need to go for a hypnosis state to cause the change, which a lot of people. So there is one myth that everybody believes, that, oh, if I go to a hypnotist, or if you like people come to me, I will magically do something and their mind state will be altered and they will get their outcomes. No, I am only going to use your own energy to motivate you, instigate you, or bring you to that point from where you can cause your own change.
That's
So
interesting.
it's like like if there is a bowl of water which is at say freezing temperature, okay, cold water kind of thing, will you be able to see the vapors? No.
Yeah.
It's only when you will boil it, when the heat will be given to it, that's when it will boil. And how does that water convert itself from a water state to the steam stage?
State, yeah.
How does it do that? What is that phenomena? Do you know the phenomena? See, everything is science.
Yeah.
The phenomena is called latent energy.
Okay.
So what is latent energy? The latent energy is the energy which is hidden in the water itself, which has the power to convert it from water state to steam state or to gaseous state.
So we
So the
have
same way,
everything
the
inside us.
energy is the latent energy within you. That's why the workshop that I do is called Change the Way You Think. And the other caption line below it says, the universe is within you. You are powerful. I'm not powerful. I'm just like you all. I will just help you reach that latent energy stage through which you can activate that latent energy and cause the change in your life. And I think we all have the power to do it.
Yeah. This has been an amazing experience, Kruti. Really, really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you
Really
so much.
awesome. I hope everybody has a great time listening to this, just as much as I have had, just talking to you and asking you questions. I think I myself need to go back and watch the episode. I mean, we talked about so much, and all of these topics. I love talking about like telepathy and hypnosis and mind reading, and yeah, it's just it's mind-boggling.
So I think we can tell our viewers that if they have really liked the session, you must comment and write to Namrata to
Yes.
bring me again on another session with you where
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
talk on a lot of more such topics.
No, and I want to do a live one with you. So hopefully soon we'll make that happen. But thank you so much for
you,
this
Namrata.
such an amazing episode. Thank you,
Thank
Kruti.
you so much.